Masechta bava basra, daf Chof Beis Amud Aleph. We're starting from Chof Aleph Amud Beis, and it's like 4 lines in the bottom. Amud Av Yosef. So the Gemara said before the Shita of Rav Huna that a mavoi, if somebody's living in a mavoi, has a business there, he could hold back his friend from another mavoi coming into his mavoi to open up the same business. Even Rav Huna is made in such a case. Omer Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef says, made Rav Huna. Rav Huna admits, agrees, that if we're talking about a Malamed in the case, who there was already a Malamed in the Mavui, and a new Malamed comes, so he can be Ma'akiv, the new Malamed. The Omer Mar, for the Tanat said, and this is in brackets because Tesa says we're not good, is that it's not true. But as a Tikkun Lamni Yisrael Sheyahei Meshuvin Soifa Betzat Soifa, as it was Mesakin, the second, third to the last line, in the brackets, as it was Mesakin, that they should have one Malamed even next to another. Let us be concerned the guy will become lazy, will become laxed. So he said to him, no, kina seifrim tarbechachma, forget it. Because they're two Malamedim together, each one will be careful, not to be laxed in front of his friend. Okay, Amar Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak. Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak had said, "Umeid Rav Huna b'rei Rav Yeshua, b'roichlin hamachzin b'hayoris." Rav Huna b'rei Rav Yeshua admits by peddlers who are going from city to city to sell their psamim, the loy matzim ha'akiv. One of the reichlei, the people that have their own peddlers that are selling psamim, cannot hold back these peddlers that go from city to city. It says in Baba Kama as a Tikkun Lamni Yisrael Sheyahei Reichlin Machzin B'Hayoros, that you should have the peddlers who sell psamim going from city to city, allow them to sell Kedei Sheyahei Tachshutim, that they should have these makeups and the there's a general word for it. I forgot what they call it for women. Cosmetics for the women. Mitzuyin live in Yisrael, that it should be found b'nois Yisrael. Mitzuyin live in Yisrael should be found between the b'nois Yisrael, so they should be attractive to the husbands. Even though if you go to, it says lo yizgan al baleim. It says in the Hebrew that they should. But in Meir Sharm, they pay these collars money that they shouldn't wear the makeup at the. I don't know why. Here they say, Indian to be attractive.
To attract the soldiers.
When we say that this heter for the peddlers to go and sell, even though there are other people selling in the city, these are peddlers that are going from city to city, but not to set up shop in that city where there are other peddlers, other people selling something. No way, you can't set up shop. You can go from city to city. If this guy's a Talmud Chacham, the peddler that goes from city to city, here we will allow him to establish even a shop in the city, even though he doesn't live there. He allowed these two Talmid Chachamim, Rabbi Yosha and Rabbi Avadia, to establish a store to sell psamim. The like hills, and not like the halacha is my timer. Kim the Rabbananinu, since they were Talmidei Chachamim, and if you're not going to allow them to establish a store, asul litardu megirsayu, they're going to be distracted because they're going to have to make up hanasa. So like this, they establish in one place so they can learn. And it says only this trade of reichlin, since we already gave a heter for reichlin that sell from city to go from city to city, that they can even go in a city where they're selling the same psamim. So once we gave that heter, so we said only this trade they allowed for chachamim to establish in the city, even though there are other people selling the psamim, because we're already lenient when it comes to reichlin. Zok the Gemara, Hanu dikuloi the ice of dikuloi lebavo. These people that sell baskets, reed baskets that they brought from Eretz Yisrael, they brought it into Babel to sell it on the day of the market. Also, they must have come out to Ilavayu. The B'nai here, who sell the same thing, they came and they told these guys, hey, wait, We don't want you selling it. We sell it here. Also, they came before Ravina. Ravina said,
Was in which city?
was there in that city, or obviously in Babel, he was one of the leaders. So they came, Ravina said to them, he says, these sellers are coming from another place, but remember, people from, it's a marketplace. So it's not only the Bnei Yair who are going to the marketplace, you have people from outside the city who are coming to buy as well. So therefore you're allowed. Because he's not Dafka selling it to the people of the city, he's selling it to the people that are coming to the market as well from outside the city.
Everybody comes to Crown Heights to go shopping?
There you go. I don't know. When were these words said? Only on the day that they have the market. Then they can come. But if it's not a day of the shuk where everybody comes to the market, and there are days that the market is open on Avenue D for the fruits, you can go there, but you can't go there every day. But they sell to the public, I think Wednesday, I don't remember, when I used to buy for Pesach, you can only buy by boxes. So over there, they allow you to buy commercially, even the private people, Avenue D. Avenue D, yeah. You go down Utica Avenue D, there's a whole marketplace. Okay, I don't know if it exists today anyway. Those days it was. Something you might tell you go into Costco, you can get the same thing. In Costco, it's every day, Yom HaShukah over there. Something you want to hunt in the middle of Yom HaShukah, but if it's not a Yom HaShukah, no, they're not allowed to sell. Even on the day of the Shuk, we didn't say that he could sell these baskets. Only to be able to, only if he's staying in the marketplace and selling it there. But to go into the city or into the town and go start knocking door to door and trying to sell, that they're not allowed. Only within the marketplace, not going into the private, into the city and going from house to house. So if you want to these people that sold wool, and they sold it to a city called Fumnara. They brought the wool to the city of Fumnara to sell it there. The Bnei Yair of Fumnara said, hey, don't sell it here. We have our own people that sell these merchandise. They came before Rav Kahana.
From the Yidden, he says that anytime they had a sichsuk, they went to that. They
came before Rav Kahana. Rav Kahana said to the Beichitzema, they have the right to stop you from selling your wool in this city. This city sells its own wool. They have their own merchandise. It's the Bnei Yair, Kaidnim. Why are you coming from another city? They said to Rav Kahana, listen, Islan Ashray. We have a lot of people that bought from me. They're saying these salespeople, they bought on credit. We're coming to collect. We have 90 days. We're stuck here. We have no merchandise. They have our money. And we have a little bit of merchandise to sell, right? We don't have money to live. So if we're waiting for our money,
they had to pay who?
the people in the city owed the merchandise seller, the sellers,
These
money. The people of the city owed them money.
These
And
people, they came.
no, these people are sellers. They came to collect the money from the city, and they have to get their money in order to move, to buy more merchandise. So they stayed in the city. They had a little bit of merchandise, but they have to live. And they can't leave because they have 30 days, some are 30 days, 90 days. So they're there in the city to collect, really. But in the meantime, they need a panasa. They want to sell. Rav Kahana said, "Okay, sell enough to make a living. Till you collect all your debts, then mazlisu and gate gesundheit." It's a plan to leave after. Okay, very good. Rav Dimi ben Hadar, Eisen Gerges. Rav Dimi ben Hadar, this is a beautiful story. Rav Dimi ben Hadar, Rav Dimi from Hadar, brought Gerges with Svina. He brought a whole bunch of dried figs. He brought a ship full of figs. Amalei Reish Galus l'Rav. Reish Galus said to Rav, hey, put
Oh, he
chazir.
went to Israel and got the figs from where? Where did you get the figs from?
It says he brought Tatum Yovesh Svina. It doesn't say from where.
Where would he get them? Where would they have
Probably from there to sell. He could have brought a ship into Babel, a shipment.
That area, from the Middle East.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amalei Reish Galus l'Rav. Reish Galus said to Rav, put chazir, go check him out. This Avdimi person, Itzuk Rabbanan Hu, Nekit Leishukya, to see if he's a Talmud Chacham, and if yes, set up the market that nobody could sell till let him sell out his stuff, because he's a Talmud Chacham. So Rava said to Ravada bar Baba, okay, Ravada bar Baba was his Gabbai, his Talmud, and he tells Ravada bar Baba, Puk, tehei lei bekankane, go, and tehei means shmek, smell the barrels of wine if it smells from wine, or it smells from vinegar, meaning to see if he's a Talmud Chacham. Talmud Chacham, why wine? Because the older the wine gets, the more chesed it gets. So too, a Talmud Chacham, the more years he's learning, he gets more and more special. So Rava said, I want to ask you, I'm sorry, Ravada bar Baba tells Rav Dimi, I want to ask you a question. An elephant that swallowed a basket of reed. A basket of reed. IKEA, and then it took a dump, derech beis harei, and came out, it got spit out, derech beis harei. It came out, the whole basket through the backside. Well, what's it did? So what's the shaila? Here we're talking about Benegei to a kli, Belchatchila was a kli that was makabel tuma, and went through the elephant, and now it's a new kli. So it's gelalim. So it's not a kli gelalim is not. It says the elephant swallows things whole, and 80% of what it swallows, it doesn't even go through the digestive system. Comes out exactly like he put it in. But here they're showing me a question. If he swallowed it whole and it came out, who cares if it went through the system? It's the same keli, it didn't change. So they want to learn that he ate a whole bunch of reeds. When it came out, it turned into a keli. No, it came out into a keli, but it was a kli glalin. So maybe it's not a kabel tuma. Lo yaham b'yadeh. Rav Dimi couldn't answer the question. Amalei, so Rav Dimi said to Ravada, I know somebody great lives here. Mar niu Rava. He says, are you Rava, this great person? I heard that there's a Rava over here. So tafach lei b'sandalei. He gave him a tap on with his stick. He hit his shoe like with that bezoyan. He says, what? Amalei bein didi li Rava. Ikatuva, between me and Rava, there are many, many levels. Miu hakocha rabach. But firstly, I am your teacher, because you don't know it. But Rabba the Rabach, and Rabba is probably your teacher's teacher. Okay? So they didn't.
Who is this?
Ravada bar Abba, who was the servant of Rabba.
Oh,
First, the Reish Galusa told Rabba.
Dimi is the one that came, right?
That came. Reish Galusa told Rabba, go check him out. If he's a Talmud Chacham, so we'll set up the shuk for him, that he should be able to sell all his geiges and nobody else. And Rabba sent his gabbai, Ravada bar Baba, who was a Talmud. And he asked him the question, and he couldn't answer, so they didn't allow him in the shuk. So me kocha no Rabba. He said Rabba. They like a shuk. Pasid geiges did they? All he lost a $100 money. Aslan kamed Rabbi Yosef. Rav Dimi went to Rav Yosef. Amalei chazima my avdeli. See Rav, what they did to me. Look, they made me lose so much money. Amalei Rav Yosef said to Rav Dimi, "Mandaloi shahaya loy nisam the malka the edom loy nishaya loy nisach." It's like Misha Para, the one that the Davish paid back Moav, who sinned against Edom. But the fourth time was that broke the camel's back, and Davish punished him. The chsiv, like it says.
So what's it? How do you touch his word?
Which words? Man the loy shahaya, loy nisa the malka. One who didn't withhold from paying back, punishing the busha that Moav did to Melech Edom, even though he was a goy, he was a doimi. Surely Hashem will not hold back from paying back Ravada for what he did to you. The chsiv, like it says in the pasuk, Koyama Hashem, so says Hashem. On the three sins that Moav sinned against Edom, Archav, the says, the pasuk goes like that. I'll hold back, I'll lengthen my anger. But on the last sin, Lo Yashivenu, I'm not holding back. I'm gonna punish him. I'll suffer Atzes Melech Edom Lasid, that he burned the bones of Edom. It was a king, it was a bezoyim. Still, you have to give some kind of a covet. He burned his bones and he smeared it into the paint, into the lime.
That's what
Moav did. That's what Moav did. Noch nafshe the Avad Bava. And Avad Bava passed away. But yes, he was just a messenger. He's told to ask a question. What's the
But
problem?
he answered him in such a way, right?
Huh? And even more so, so the answer is the fact that they didn't let him. Oh, so two things. First of all, he hit him. He caused him a bizayin. He hit him on his shoe, also bizayin, and the way he spoke to him. And number two, first of all, Ravdimi and Rava, we just had the daf before. If the Navi, I'm sorry, not the Navi, Yoyev wasn't taught right. Zeicha Zacha.
Oh, yeah.
So Ravdimi Paskin, which kind of a malamed should you take? Somebody who's a daika, and even though he learns less. Rava said, no, take the one that learns more because the mistake he'll figure out on his own. But who do we paskin like? It was Avdimi and Rava. We paskin like Avdimi. So it was sort of a bizayin to Avdimi. I mean, Avdimi was really on a high level. And
He was
even
a
was,
Talmud Chacham also, right?
sure,
So,
he didn't answer this. So what was the bizayin? Two things. First of all, Ravada deserved it. He asked him a question in Taras, and many Amoraim weren't well versed in Taras.
About elephants.
Oh, and that's number one. Number two, this is a shaila in Menachis, and it stays by Teku. So what did he expect? If the Marain couldn't answer it, that was like a trick question that nobody had an answer to anyway. So that's why he was punished. That's what they say. Okay. Rav Yosef, Oma, no anishte. Rav Yosef said, I was the one that punished him. Not you, Rav Dimi, I'm sorry. What's it? Rav Yosef says, because of me that I said, I said the pasuk to you. Rav Dimi came to timing to Rav Yosef. Look what he did to me. So Rav Yosef said, I caused the punishment, and Rav Yosef felt very bad. Why? Because it says in Gemara Shabbos, I think. I'm just looking if I saw it. Yeah, in Shabbos, Kuf Mem Tes, Shekol Mi Shenesh Chavei Al Yadei. Anybody who gets punished because of you, then the Eibishter doesn't allow him in the Mechitza of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he wanted to do, so Rav Yosef wanted like a tshuva, because Rav Yosef put the curse. Mi Shepara, he said, the one that paid back Moyav is not going to let this go by. He's going to punish you. He's going to punish Rabba also. So that's why. Okay, Dano Lat Yosef. He says, I was the one that cursed him. He says, I was the one that caused the curse, and it's upon me, Ravdimi, because Ravdimi brought the Afsed, the great guys, Didi. He said, I caused it with bringing my dried figures, and this whole episode happened because of me. So the whole episode happened because of me, so it's my fault. Abayam said, they all want to, I want to do tshuva. He said,
Each one said it's their fault.
yeah, each one wanted to have a tshuva. Abayam came, Abayam, he says, no, it was me. Because Avada once told the Rabbanan, what are you going to Abaya shear to swallow at some ways? There's no flesh to it. It's dry. Go and eat. Go to the shear of Rava. You're going to see smetana. You're going to see the fats, the meat. He knows how to speak and give a good shear. And who was hurt by that? Abaya. So because of that, his words that hurt Abaya, he was punished. But Rava
wasn't punished.
no, Rav Abba told the Talmud, what are you going to Abaya shear? It's kam beina on it. There's no flesh. Yeah. It's a dry shear. Go to Rava. It's full of shmena.
So what did Abaya say?
So Abaya was hurt by that he was sending Talmudim to Rava and telling him that his shear is a dried shear. Okay, so because Abaya was hurt, that's why he was punished. We're on Chapei Zamar Aleph, towards the wider lines. Not yet, like 10 lines before the wide line. No, at the wide lines. But Rabba Amar, right, the first wide line. But Rabba Amar, no.
So Abaya saying because you insulted me.
You insulted me,
and I felt bad.
That's why you were killed. We're talking about a story. You heard the story? Okay. So Rabba Amar says, I was the one that caused the punishment. How? So when Rabba went to the market to buy meat, he said to the butcher, I come before the Gabe of Rava. So give me the meat
The Bible said that.
Yeah, because Rava is greater than me, but his Gabbai, I'm greater than him, so I want the meat. The Hana Difnimene, he says, because I'm better than him. So
Why
Rava,
did Rava send him to buy for his gabbai for himself?
Rava sent his Gabbai to buy meat. Rava Bar Baba came to the same butcher. He says, I come before
Oh,
the
sell me first before the.
before the
He jumped the
Gabbai.
line. He jumped the line.
He jumped the line. He says, I'm greater than him. I deserve it more. If it was for Rava, it's something else. He wanted to buy for himself. That's what it says on the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So the Rava was hurt. What do you mean? My Gabbai is nothing? What is chicken legs to you? He's a cheshva guy too. Anyway, so Rava was hurt. That's why he got punished. Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak, Anon Hishtei. Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak
All
says,
these guys are the cause of one person. That's
yeah, they don't know.
Everybody's guilty.
but they're going to come to seek him who was the real guilty one. Okay, Anon Hishtei. Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak Reish Kalahava. Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak was Doirish Berabim on Shabboses. Kol Yoima Mekam Dinei Lakala every day. Before Rav Nachman would go to a place wherever he would say a drasha, Marid Ba'adei Rav Ada Bar Baba L'Shmaita. Rav Ada Bar Baba would go over with him, with Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak. Rav Nachman would chaza with him, bounce it off of him, the drasha. The Hada Ayla Kal, and then Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak would go out and say the drasha. Ahu Yom, there was this day. Naktu Rav Papa Rav Huna B'rei Rav Yeshua Rav Ada Bar Baba. Rav Papa Rav Huna B'rei Rav Yeshua saw Rav Ada Bar Baba coming out of a siyum that he heard from Rabbah. Mishum Delay Havu B'siyuma. Since they weren't by the siyum, Abilei, so these two said to him, Rav Papa Rav Huna B'rei Rav Yeshua said to him, hey Milan, please tell us how he schmeitz in the Mais Behema, that those halachas of Mais Behema, this was Masechta Brachis. How did Rabbah learn this whole siyum? Amalahu, they said, he was telling them, Hachi Amarava, so said Rabbah, so said Rabbah. And Hachi, in the meantime, no, you're late. In the meantime, he's late for Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak, who has to give a drasha, and Rav Nachman will not go out till he bounces it off of Rav Ada Bar Baba. Below Yosef Rav Ada Bar Baba, Rav Baba didn't come. Because he was preoccupied with these guys, and he came not late to Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak, he came late to Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak. He was late for Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak, but Lo Yosef Rav Ada Bar Baba, Rav Bar Abba didn't come to chaza with him. So the Talmid Yeshiva said, Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak, come, shtel sich auf, say the drasha. How long are we going to wait till the end of the day? The Nagalon, it's already late now. Look at your clock. It's late. Lama Yasama, why is the Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak? Why are you sitting? Get up and say your drasha. Amalei Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak said, Yasivna, I'm sitting. V'kamantro v'kanotarno le'arse de Rav Ada Bar Baba. I'm waiting for the bed of Rav Ada Bar Baba, meaning that he's coming back dead. In the meantime, yeah.
That's what he meant.
That's what he meant. At the hachi nafa kola, the nach nafshi. In the meantime, Klein went out. That Rav Ada Bar Baba passed away. Now here it says on the bottom that from the Chassam Sefer, Sha'afal Pish Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak kilu b'tos. He didn't mean he was just like he was angry. He says, I'm waiting for the bed, meaning he meant to curse him, but he meant to say, I'm waiting for Rav Ada Bar Masla. But since he said such words,
No, he didn't mean it's a negative thing. He just an expression. I'm waiting for the bed,
he cursed him.
He meant
But
it as a curse.
yeah. So you have to be careful. The words of a Talmud Chacham is very dangerous. And the Gemara Paskins, because of who was he punished? Rav Ada Bar Masla, Umistabla de Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak Anshe. It's reasonable to say it was Rav Nachman Rav Yitzchak because it says Mefedish that he says, I'm waiting for the bed for Rav Ada Bar Masla. Okay. Zog the Mishnah. Somebody who had a wall next to the kaisel of his friend. Lo yismach lo kaisel. He shouldn't put another wall. Now, what does it mean, another wall? So the Gemara is going to say later on, it means that the wall fell, and now he wants to put up another wall. He shouldn't put it so close with him 4 amis. Ellen came hicking imeno amis. Just the Gemara is also going to say it like the original. You're going to see this whole havamin. Hachaloines, windows, bein milamaylam, bein lamatam, bein kenegan abamis. If you want to build a wall against the guy's wall who has windows already there 3 years, so when you build a wall, either you have to build it lower than the window 4 amis, because if you stand on it and it's less than 4 amis, you can see everything that's going on. And if you want to build it higher than the window, it has to be higher than the window 4 amis, because if it's less, you can just bend down and look through. And also, it has to be a distance of 4 amis not to block his light. Zok Gemara, "V'kama hechi samach." In fact, Gemara, you sound like there was a first wall. How close was the first wall? It sounds like the first wall was less than 4 amas, and that's why you said the chiddush. The second wall has to be 4 amas away. I mean, have you heard that? No, that's not pshat. Okay, come on. This is the pshat. Somebody for the first time who's coming to put up a wall. He shouldn't put up that wall next to the first wall less than 4 amas.
Did we learn this before?
Yes, he is the Mishnah. We're learning the Mishnah. This is the Makar. Okay, yeah. Maskiv Lo Rava. Rava says, how can you say it's the Mishnah's pshat is that he's putting up for the first time a wall? We learned in the Mishnah the words somebody already had a wall, so he had already a wall. He shouldn't put another wall. So what's the pshat? How can you say it's the first wall? Says Rava says you're right. This is how you have to learn. Somebody who had the first wall, like Sal said originally. That's the pshat. That he had the chatchila wall a distance of 4 amas. He shouldn't put up a wall next to that wall unless he made a distance of 4 amas. In fact, Gemara my time, what's the reason that you need the 4 amas between the 2 walls? Says Gemara, the davsha the hacha ma'ale lahasam. Because if you have between the 2 walls a space, people can walk there. And when you walk on the ground, it hardens the ground.
The first one's also 4 hours.
Yes.
And what's the difference? Go to the same place.
Same place, right.
So what's the question why that's where it was?
Okay, so that's what Tesis is. But listen to what's the chiddush. Because the reason here he says, why do you need 4 amas between the walls? So that the people should walk and harden the ground, so it would give more of a yisoid to the wall. So now it comes the second time, there's already hard ground, so why should I say he has to keep a distance of 4 amas? That's the chiddush. That even though prior to that you had already people walking between the 2 walls, he's come to tell you, you still need a distance of 4 amas.
Closer or further?
No, the same. You keep it 4 amas.
What's the nice?
The nicest, I would have thought you could bring it closer because the grounds are hard already. Yes. Rav said, Lo yishanu ela kaisel gina. This whole din that you have to leave between the 2 walls is by a garden. Why? Because a garden, nobody walks in the garden on top of what's growing in the garden, the vegetables. So everybody walks on the outside of the wall of the garden. So if it's on the outside, that's why you need the alavas. How about aval kaisel chatzah? If it's a yard you can walk inside and outside. All you need is to stamp in one place and it hardens, that's all, that's enough to do it. So then in Balis by a kaisel achatza, if you want to put one kaisel next to the other, you can even put less than 4 amas because you can walk on the other side from the inside and harden the floor. Rabbi Yishaya says echad kaisel gina, echad kaisel chatza, whether it's a kaisel of a garden, whether it's a kaisel of a chatza. In Balis he cannot bring it within 4 amas, even a kaisel chatzah. So it's a kasha. We just said even though the second kaisel chatzah you can bring it in even less than 4 amas. So it's not a machlekes here. Here it's talking about an old city. An old city, a kaisel chatzah, the floors are very hard, so therefore the walls can be brought in even within 4 amas. Chadasha needs from the inside, outside, everywhere. It's a new.
This original wall, this was a wall that fell down and he wants to put it in.
It's a wall that was there and fell down.
And he wants to put it up.
And we'll put it up again. It's a new city. You still need a lot of threshing the floor. Stepping on the floor to make it harden the floor. And that's why by Ir Chadasha, even if it's a kaisel chatzer, you still need the 4 amas to walk on the outside as well. So now we learned in the Mishnah Chaloinais. If the guy had windows in the wall already more than 3 years, he has a chazakah, and the other guy wants to put up a wall against these windows, so then above the windows, if he wants to make the wall above the windows, 4 amas above it. He shouldn't be able to bend down and look in. If it's under the windows, he has to go lower, 4 amas lower, so if he stands on the wall, he still won't be able to see through the window. Okay, here he says, from above the window, 4 amas, because if it's a little less, then all he has to do is bend over and look. Milamaton, why, if it's lower than the window, you have to go 4 amas lower than the window? He shouldn't stand on the wall and be able to look through the window. But when you build a wall against the wall, it shouldn't darken the area. So we just said a whole different reason. We said because he should be able to walk between the 2 walls to harden the floor. Says you want a time, the whole reason is shelo yafil. But because of hardening the floor, not. Says you want to hook my skin over here. It's talking about bevamin hatzad, that he's building a wall perpendicular. Here, you see, you have a wall like this, and he built a wall like this. So in such a case, it's not. So you don't have to harden. You could. So he can harden on this side and this side. When you have the wall like this, he can walk here. You don't have to have it all over. Since he can walk on both sides of the wall.
So you don't need 4 amas?
You don't need 4 amas because it's hard. But you're not allowed to. But it's against the window.
Yeah.
So this part is against the window. It's facing the window of this wall. That's why you need to put 4 amas, not to darken it. So the Gemara, the Kamo. How much space? How much do you have to distance it? Not 4 amas, but like the full size of a chaloin. What was the size of the chaloin that we spoke about between the 2 houses? For the tumah, that the tumah travels through the chaloin, we said it was a tefach. So that's what it means, a tefach. That's what he brings down. In fact, the Gemara V'haloi makes it, but he could look through the wall. If it's next to the window, he can look from the wall. He can look through his window. I'm gonna have said, it's talking about he couldn't stand on the wall because, like the shooter, couldn't really shoot. It was on a slope. The one that shot Trump, they said they didn't have the security guards on the other house because it was sloped. The shooter and the sharpshooter who killed the guy were both on slanted roofs. They could, but the security guard couldn't. Anyway, the kids over here, it's talking about a sloped wall.
No, the security guard was carrying one of these big guns?
Yeah,
Or
it was.
a pistol on him.
No, the guy the sharpshooter who shot the other guy on the roof was on the same type of a roof as the shooter. And the middle house the house where the shooter was, they said they couldn't put a guy there because it was too dangerous. So they thought that he wouldn't be able to stand. But the shooter was able to stand there, and the sharpshooter, who they say he couldn't stand, was also on such a roof. Anyway, the kids over here, it says that the wall was on a slope, and that's why we're not afraid that he would stand and look through the window. So what about Nan Abamas? You're saying it's only a tefach when he builds the wall like this. So you only have to go a tefach away from the wall, and we learned 4 amas. Says the Gemara, loy kasher kameru achachas mekam mishtei ruchis. The Gemara says here when we said a tefach, it's only 1 wall. You see, Sal, right here, 1 wall. But when we said 4 amas, there was 1 wall on this side and 1 wall on that side. So it's blocking the whole light. So he says, so when it's from 2 ruchis, so it's blocking the light. So then you have to make 4 amas away. Those 2 walls, the light should come in. Sides.
So there were 2 sides.
Here, like here's the wall of the house. He had 1 wall here, another wall here, and the window's here. So he's blocking the window, and the window won't get any light because of this wall also. So we said both walls have to distance itself 4 amas. Okay, Zog the Yemada. Toshma, come in here. It says, min hamaschila. It says the wall. We distance the wall from the gutter of the house. 4 amas. Because to lean a ladder, you can't have a ladder standing up, it can fall backwards. In order to lean the ladder, you need 4 amas to lean onto the gutter to clean out the dirt from the gutter so it shouldn't get stuffed. The whole reason is because of why you made 4 amas is because of the ladder. But because of hardening the ground, no. Says you want to know. It's talking about, here you have a picture. You see the house? you have the roof of the house coming out, extending further out than the wall. And that extension, and then comes the gutter. So even the ladder is touching the gutter, but there's still another 4 ames under the roof that extended beyond the wall, after the wall. So for hardening the ground, there's still room to go 4 ames. That's what he's going to answer. Says the Gemara,
What is the other line here?
which one?
This one.
That's the ladder.
Oh, that's
So the ladder is touching the gutter. You see where the gutter has a little line in the.
Right,
Okay, so he says like this. It's talking about that the roof came and it extended further out from beyond the wall of the house. If it's because of hardening the floor, there's room. Under the roof of the house that extends after the wall, there's room to walk to harden it. So the ladder, you have to have another 4 ames of a wall away from the gutter, so to be able to put a ladder to touch the gutter.
If you didn't have a
So
ladder, you didn't need a ladder here. So they
yeah, but a gutter needs a ladder in order that it should